Hey, what's up guys? It's the Curse Star here, and today I'm going to be making my first cooking video. I'm going to be making maple chicken for y'all. Um, so we're going to start off with 2 chicken breasts, and have the cartilage cutting knife here, which will be better for cutting the meat in the first place. And so we're going to cut it into little strips. The little strips are going to be better. It'll cook a lot faster, and it'll be overall easier to eat once you get down to that. So I started off with cutting each breast in half, and then cutting maybe quarter-inch thick slices of it, and then I cut them down so they were almost bite-sized pieces, just using the cartilage knife there. Spices that we use is salt, pepper, rosemary, olive oil, maple, of course. I did decide to use a little bit of brown sugar, and we're going to have Italian seasoning and rosemary, and we're going to put this all over some fettuccine. So I already got that started and boiling in the pot, and it's getting ready to go. So we're just going to finish cutting up the chicken here into little slices. Get it already, and you can see here I'm cutting the longer slices in half. That'll make it better for eating later, and it'll still cook a little bit faster. So if you're cooking for a lot of people and you need to get it going pretty quickly, cut your chicken into small strips, almost to bite-sized pieces, and it'll work a lot better. Alright, so the chicken's getting prepared. We're almost ready. Get it in the little piles and stuff. Hopefully we'll be making more cooking videos for y'all. Stay tuned for like gaming and stuff like that too. This will be a hobbyist channel as well. So alright, so we get the pan here. It's not a traditional sort of pan, as you'd say. So we're just gonna put a little olive oil drizzled in there. This gives it a little bit of flavor and helps the chicken to not stick, along with the sugars and the maple syrup. So we're just going to spread that around the pan a little bit, and then put a heavy dose of maple syrup in. Probably put around 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup. You want quite a bit, but not too much. I probably put in a little too much, but that's okay. This is more of a sweeter dish, obviously because of maple syrup. And then put a little salt in. I'm going to season the pan first. Salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, rosemary, garlic and onion powder, of course. My idea with garlic is you can almost never go too much garlic, because it's always good flavoring. Use garlic powder or fresh garlic, and try to stay away from garlic salt, because then whatever you're cooking will get a little too salty, and that's not good. Onion powder is good, but I'd go a little light on that. And then I just stirred it all up here before I started to add in the chicken. Get it all mixed in there. And when you put the chicken in, you want to make sure it's all like spread out a little bit, and then you want to put the seasonings on top of the chicken as well. I added a bit of water to this, which was probably a mistake, because you want it to boil off so that it comes back down to being a syrup like the maple syrup is when you're done, and that'll be like a nice sauce to it. So I would add a little bit of water just so everything the flavors can all get together and flavor the chicken pretty well. But then I would definitely boil off the water so you come back to more of a syrupy base. And get all that chicken spread out. You want a big enough pan where the chicken can almost be in contact with the bottom of the pan. That way it all gets cooked evenly and thoroughly, and you don't get food poisoning. Simple enough. So just put all the chicken in there. Yeah, and like I said, I always start seasoning with salt first. That's going to be most important for bringing out the flavorings. Because you'll notice that what salt really does is it brings out the flavorings, and you can go a bit heavy on it, but you don't want to be tasting just the salt. So there we go, we got all the chicken in the pan. Next, we're probably going to season it now. So salt first, pepper. Pepper is important too. It gives it a little bit more of a kick to it. I wouldn't use pepper for making it spicy because it doesn't, but I'd use it to give it a little bit of a kick. Alright, so you want to get all that seasoning in there, and I put a little maple syrup back on top of it. Water. I added too much water in this into the mix. It just doesn't sit very well with it. You don't want to put too much water, but you do want a little bit so that it all boils together. But I put way too much water in there. So you get that little bit of water in there, mix it all together, and you're good to go. Turn it up pretty high heat. Gotta get it cooking. And here's the pasta. Getting it all ready to go. Still a little bit hard, but you can make it nice and tender and then drain it. So this is a couple minutes late. This is a couple minutes later, and we're seeing it starting to boil, and it's just good. You want to flip the chicken over too, so that all sides of it get cooked. You just want to flip it over once, and then the rest of the time you can just stir it pretty nicely. And you still want the chicken to take on the nice like maple sort of color, which you'll see here in a minute. So you get it all stirred up and just let it boil off water and the oil and a little bit of everything else. So I did happen to add a bit of brown sugar to it, just so we could get a more syrupy base once the water and everything else is boiled off. It's kind of hard to see while it's boiling, but the sauce more or less is a very dark maple color, which is exactly what we want. And so you can see here it's coming to a full boil, burning off all the waters and everything else that we don't want, getting all the flavors nicely mixed. And there's a chicken, it's got a nice brownish color to it, and you can see the sauce is still a bit liquidy, but it's gonna get firmer and more viscous. And so we put it out, we put the fettuccine on the plate and pulled the chicken off the burner, and we're gonna go ahead and just pile it on there. Put a little sauce with it, and you're good to go. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Be sure to check me out here, Twitch, whenever I'm on, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.